So it's a battle of the generations. Gorst, basically half the age of Feijen, but he wants to get twice as many racks. And Niels, a brilliant lag. Okay, he's not played on this table, but it doesn't show with that.
No, not at all. And like I said earlier, obviously he's been breaking the balls well. He sat Ko Ping-yi down quite a bit yesterday, so good start would go a long ways. Yeah, one down, another ball falling. I think across that bank is maybe there, but definitely a look at the two.
That's got to be a record, the earliest interjection by a mobile phone going off just as he was addressing the break off.
Well, the break's not as delicate, so maybe get away with that one. But now the overhead told me maybe the bank's not there, so looking to plant the cue ball behind the pink and the black 8. All right, we're going to see Gors with the jump cue to start, the best in the business. And you know, a little later in the match, probably Niels feels a little more comfortable. He tries to really snug that cue ball up on the pink, but there to open, I like what he did, just simplifying the shot. May cost him here with the jump cue, but that's all right. Now the safety has gotten more tricky. Has options, though. He could kind of play the object ball safe. I kind of like banking the 2 down the center of the table off the bottom cushion and kind of just rolling the cue ball off the side rail behind the pink and black again. I think he's got other plans. Yeah, that's delicate there. It's a delicate shot. Really well done. To try and control the object ball speed is definitely much different than controlling the cue ball speed. He's done well with both. Not a hard kick shot, though, off the bottom cushion.
It's a race to 11, the lengthiest match we've seen at the tournament so far. But you still want to get off to an encouraging start.
He's got to dig on the cue ball here, a little bit of slide. Wants a full hit. May fluke it. Had a bit of that yesterday at times. The blue 2 seemed to be the one that was rolling around with a lot of luck involved. Missed his mark, a little awkward cueing, but the 3 does play. Would say position not the easiest, though. Needs that to go. He wanted to come off the side cushion there, but really had to put the emphasis on pocketing the 3. Dead straight here on the pink, it seems.
An early, acute examination of cueing. No one, though, on the shot is stiller than Gorst, and that's vital as he delivers the cue here.
Looks like he's putting a bit more speed. Okay, we'll see about the cue ball. It's going to open a little bit. Saw a few misses there early from Gorst against Rhoda that didn't really cost him. Maybe a different story here with Niels.
Yeah, cued across that one quite badly, didn't he?
Yeah, what happens is you get a little quick, you end up breaking down the stroke. That's pretty much everyone. A little tricky here to put spin. I wouldn't say the cueing's awkward, but slick table doesn't want to grab the side spin quite as much off a thin hit. That was a really good shot, especially really his first kind of offensive shot. Little off angle here on the purple. May just hold the rock and take the shot from there.
Tucked in the shirt there, making sure it wasn't draping over the 8-ball.
Just wants to slide one rail up the table above the 9. As straight as possible would be good. Just all about the speed control. I'll tell you, I know it wasn't super tough, this little out right here he's making, but a couple shots tells you he's pretty calm.
It's 5 minutes to
He's got bags of experience in the most high-pressure situations, and that experience will come in so handy. It's invaluable today. With that, he's now played in this tournament 98 racks, and he's won 67 of them. Started out beating Ryan Bell 9-1, then every other match really tough. He's overcome Roberto Gomez, Duong Kwok Wang, Robbie Capito, Jan van Leerup, Ioniuski, and perhaps the best victory of that bunch, Kopin Yi last night. World champion in 2014 overcame Albin Houchen in the final, 13-10. And you know he can sustain concentration for lengthy periods because he's a former world straight pool champion in 2008.
Yeah, really plays all disciplines well and make your name with this one right here, 9-ball. And that U.S. Open title, that's the one that's eluded him at times. Don't think he ever made a final. I think he's had a third and a fourth.
Leading by 1 right to
If I remember correctly. Yeah, he's good here on the blue too. And a great spread, so breaking from the opposite side we saw Gors break from yesterday, but with really good results. And I tell you, these are very open. They kind of connect past getting from the 2 to the 3 back to the 4. What made Niels such a great Mosconi player is not just handling the pressure, but understanding the slick table. Because once you understand it, then it makes it a little easier to handle that pressure. And it's all about your shots, selection, and how you go about things. And he's really got it all.
Yeah, when you think about it, his record in the Mosconi Cup is remarkable. Most valuable player, MVP, 4 times in a 5-year span from 2011 onwards.
Yeah, and of course that was during that European run that was so incredible. But what made that European run so incredible is, you know, the stacked team, and for him to be that MVP, you know, 4 out of 5 years, pretty incredible stuff itself.
He's made a total of 14 Mosconi Cup appearances. From a European perspective, only Ralph Souquet and Mika Immonen have made more.
And you can see a little nod of the head here, so he's got to draw the ball. Watch out for the side pocket. Oh, he's just going to take the shot. And that's what I mean, you know, that's what settles you, is when you get a little out of line, being able to accept a little distance and, excuse me, just work through the rack.
Extension called.
He goes to the side rail. He doesn't want to add a lot of spin. So could be right before the right middle side pocket with the cue ball. I haven't seen one kind of wobble him yet. Feels so good stuff here from the Terminator. Yeah, another shake of the head because he knows he's going to be near the cushion when he plays the 9, which we always talk about. That's probably, the nerves are high, the toughest shot, even though it's not really that difficult. Nice to hold the cue ball off the rail there on the 8.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, before the match, Niels Feijen said he was going into Fedor Gorst's front room. Well, right now he's eating his food and drinking his beer. He's 2-0 up. Now Fedor is going for an unprecedented hat-trick. And the first leg was the World Masters in Germany back in April. As so many of our World 9-Ball Tour finals do, it went down to the wire. Hill. All 25 racks played against Joshua Filler. Immense pressure. But Gorst, even before the 9 went in, knew it was mission accomplished. Filler denied glory for Gorst. And of course, a little later on in the year, it was again Hill when he beat Eklund Kachi to be World 9-Ball champion.
It's the third rack.
Just shows the fickle nature of the game, Jeremy. Had those 2 deciding racks gone against him, the whole vibe around Gorst would have been completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. And those vibes would have been elsewhere, and him trying to still find a WNT title, one of the major ones anyways. Now he holds 2. The one's been consistent. Speaking of the 2, it's going to open up. Ooh, and the 8. Ooh, it would have been nice if the 8 held. He could play a simple combination with a little distance. But again, he knocks in another nice ball. It's just going to make the confidence grow.
And when it comes to the application of power, which is required on the 2, Feijen is equal to the task.
Yeah, a little tricky here. Got a little angle to go forward, which will be the play, but he won't come down as far as you would think, because he'd be gambling, really, maybe getting snookered on the red 3. Big shot here. Keep Gorst in the chair.
That kind of shot always in Feijen's wheelhouse.
Yeah, and he really got the premium out of the cue ball. Now he can kind of kill it since he's near it. Doesn't have to dead roll the ball or maybe go into the pink. Doesn't want to play with inside and come up the center for the cut on the pink. I think he's going to try and put some spin on the ball to check it here on the bottom end. First big mistake. Just, you know what that is? Just a little let up near the cue ball anytime you're playing that outside spin and you end up overcutting it. Just kind of quit the stroke a bit.
Yeah, lots of pool equations. That one is ever thus. Deceleration equals hitting it too thin. And now a chance for Gorst to get on the board.
And how huge that shot is going to the ad break after this game. You know, Niels gets to sit there and feel good about things. Fedor Gorst is wondering when he's going to get an opportunity. Now everything changes. Quite different, right? I mean, Gors, who we talked about in this tournament, has played incredibly well to open matches, getting some big leads, and then kind of struggling to finish at times. But sometimes this kind of situation will wake you up a bit quicker. Won't do much here, just kind of hold the cue ball and handle some distance on the 9.
This Super Saturday at Harrah's Resort in Atlantic City is underway, and so is Fedor Gorst. It is 2-1 to Feijen. After a terrific start, Niels Feijen showed his first sign of weakness, overcutting a 3-ball in the 3rd rack. Fedor Gorst, as is his way, tidying up. Now he wants to draw level.
Thank you, it's the 4th rack. Fedor lost to break. He's trailing by 2 racks to 1.
Has he got the gap? Has the 6-ball been rather rude?
I think he can get at it. I don't know if he can get to the pocketing side of the 2-ball, but now the overhead tells me he's cut off more than I think. From distance, wouldn't be the worst to just kind of bang the 2 right in the face, trying to use the pink, knock the 2 up by the red 3 maybe. Kind of simplify the shot. And this is where, as much as anything, your fundamentals are so important to hold up. Easy to lose the spin and therefore not get the hit. He's not going to be happy with that. He did get a partial snooker, but didn't want the blue 2 near the pocket fill.
We often talk about Fedor's jumping skills. Niels Feijen's also right up there amongst the very best.
Yeah, and they all jump well, but who makes them, you know, in the biggest moments? And Niels is definitely one of those guys. I always feel like Fedor, of course, is the best, but there's some guys right behind him. And Skyler, maybe. SVB, we'll see later, is awesome with the jump cue. Big shot here, though, to kind of make up for that missed 3. Won't be jumping that one, Phil. A little cold-blooded. Knew he had to dig on the cue ball. Caught a piece of the 3. Now he's going to have to show us even more skills that he definitely holds.
That 6 ball must have a hangover. Really grouchy. Being a curmudgeon to both players.
Interesting, and this may be something to do about not playing on this table. He's going 1 row at it. He's trying to make it. 3's going to dress up, I think. He's going to get somewhat straight, and I think the pink 4 does play.
And it's the hallmark of Gorst that when he has chances like this, he normally buries them.
Yeah, and we can all learn something from that, really. I mean, when you're practicing, yeah, you stun the ball, you use the side rail to get the cue ball out. But in the biggest moments, a lot of players would have just rolled that in. You want to get better on the pink, and that just shows you not so much being that comfortable at the moment, but knowing how to get comfortable. And that's a big key to winning.
Extension, please.
Shot clock in operation, of course. It's a 30-second shot clock with 1 30-second extension per player per rack. And because Gorst took his extension very early in the process, he's still got an ocean of time.
Yeah, he's going into the brown to hold the cue ball. Just kind of, when it makes sense to go into balls, that's when you'll see the players do it. Otherwise, they want to stay away from that. So a great jump on the blue 2. Oh, unlucky to get snookered, but from what I've seen so far, both players very ready.
Really good cue action. All the lines in the right place.
Fedor Gorst.
And the 9 is in the right place. So, consecutive racks have gone against Feijen because of what happened on the 3 ball. In the 3rd, he missed it. In the 4th, it was a self-imposed hook. So, 2-2. Just a reminder, our second semi-final in this program will feature a clash of the Titans. Shane Van Boning against Joshua Filler. And so much more pool to come before the year is finished. We've got an Asian doubleheader in October. First, we go to the Vietnamese capital for the 2nd edition of the Hanoi Open, where Jason Shaw will be defending the title. Then, on the conclusion of that, 2 days later sees the start of the Reyes Cup in Manila, Philippines, where for the first time, Asia will do battle with Europe. And then Europe are involved again, defending the Mosconi Cup in Orlando, Florida, November 30 to December 3, in the wonderfully luxurious new venue for the event, the Carib Royale Resort, right in the heart of the tourist magic.
Back at the 5th rack. These scores are tied at 2 racks each. Fedor Gorst.
Yeah, Vegas has been great. It's always, you know, the weather you can depend on it not being too bad, but Orlando's going to be something special.
going at that pace, it was asking a lot, but had the two rattled and stayed over the pocket, Gorst would have been better off.
Yeah, but you got to appreciate, we're going to see it later on as well, players that seem to make it to the end are the ones that will open up on the break, it seems. Niels breaking them pretty firm. Better, even harder, it seems, but it's got to look here. It's kind of odd. I think anything offensive near the rail with the cue ball, so anytime you get these big spreads, sometimes the safety's not so easy. And I'm really not sure where he's going with it. Maybe just plays the red to the top rail, cutting it past the brown and coming back over. This is super touchy. Yeah, just trying to leave some distance. If he got the snooker, I think it was a bonus.
Not identical, but the same kind of feel to that shot as the one where Eklund Kachi scratched in the deciding rack of the World 9-Ball Championship when Gorst was the beneficiary.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I think Eklund got caught up in not hitting that 9 coming across, and then the table just rolled out and he lost the cue ball and then therefore lost the title. But the final match we had. Trying to use the 8 if he can get a friendly bump. And all these shots, to me, of course, these guys are nervous, but all these shots are saying they're very prepared and settling in. He's cut off the kick, really, with the 9 and the purple 5 on the right. So it's going to be the jump cue, I think.
The extension, please.
Doesn't have to go over a lot of the 8, so that really helps. Anytime you're close as far as the jump and you have to go a great distance, margin for error is very slim. So you could see he was kind of sizing up maybe some 9-ball action here.
Doesn't want to repeat.
No, and it's little things, you know, not so bad for the Terminator to have this, but with the 3 nearing the rail, it makes the safety behind the 8 very delicate and somewhat low percentage. More fans coming in, of course. We're in Atlantic City, so
Extension called.
probably enjoying the evenings and a hair late for the match. I don't know. Take a chance just kind of slow floating kind of behind the green 6. Putting the 3 on the left rail. He's going to go behind the 8, it seems.
Sometimes players have questionnaires. What about favourite band? Well, Fedor Gorst would be too young to say this, but it could well be the Pointer Sisters. Jump. He can jump.
Yeah, it's not only just making balls, but the control of the cue ball. Look how delicate he hit that jump. Only had to go over a piece, but still. You know, when you're hitting something on the lighter side, that's when the nerves will show up even more. That beautifully. Had a similar shot yesterday to close the match, and he overcut it, if you recall. And in perfect position, just kind of hold the cue ball.
When someone does something good to initiate a burst, we say it's a jump start, literally in this case.
And you saw him taking a little extra time there on something very routine, and commented about yesterday his pace around the table looks so comfortable, and I think he's still trying to find that a bit. Almost really kind of coordinates with the stroke, you know, for players from shot to shot.
When Niels Feijen broke in round to win the second rack to lead 2-0, you wondered whether the older man was going to have a really good match. Of course, he still could, but he faces stern resistance in the form of Fedor Gorst, who is now in front for the first time at 3-2. And given his mentality, Jeremy, he will be looking to build on this and build big.
Yeah, that's really been the MO for him in most all these matches. He did suffer a loss where he trailed to a guy who made a big run, Vitali Patsura. There's a good look at SVB. Going to talk about this match. That is the match for our semifinal, him playing Josh Villa.
If he were to win a 6th US Open title, I think it would mean more to him than when he won the World Championship.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I always kind of think about golf and, you know, y'all's Open Championship. That's where the game kind of started. And the same thing here for the Americans. It's American pool, and to win the U.S. Open, that's just the climax for most of us.
And funnily enough, the symmetry there, because the record for the Open Championship,
Rack 6.
most wins in that,
Leading
6.
by 3 racks to 2.
Little things again. Now it's going to be a very difficult push out with balls near that yellow 1 ball, that being the 5 and 7.
Push out called.
This is where, though, you got to believe that Niels is just as good in the tactical side of things, really, in the push out.
Record holder for the Open, Harry Varden, famous for the Varden grip, and he was part of a great triumvirate. J.H. Taylor and James Braid, they won 5 Opens. And the great triumvirate in pool right now, they're all involved today. Gorst, SVB, and Fuller.
Yeah, that's right. Don't forget about another former champion that played this week. I thought he actually played really well. Earl Strickland also holds those 5 titles here at the U.S. Open. Now he's got a little protection on this push out because the pink 4 and 9 are jammed up, and really don't see an easy way to get those open. So you have a little more freedom. May actually push out to something that's a little more shootable. Now he got the cue ball off the rail. Don't think he wanted that. It's just because when you push out, you want to have a chance to get it back. And there's absolutely no way Fedor Gorst is giving this up. I think he attacks here. I mean, it's a dig on the cue ball to get on the 2, you would think. But he does want to try and produce. And you can see that 4-9, the pink 4 on the 9. It's not totally lined up for the upper right corner, but you can make the balls kind of change direction with a little throw. Now he's going with a high ball, so that tells me he's not attacking. Does have a piece of the 1. Good stuff there. Again, you don't want to get too involved trying to lay down, you know, the ultimate safety. Could leak out on you, especially again with the 4-9 kind of jammed up. Now, I would never say there's a weakness with Fedor Gorst, but if there's something he does sometimes miss his mark, it's some of these kick shots. Very doable here, 2 rails behind the 1. And hit that perfectly.
Textbook kick and stick.
And this is kind of odd. Table wants to kind of dive downward off that first rail compared to your outer table, so he's going to have to aim just past the side. Make a little action on the 8 here off the back of the 1. And they're going to open up, and again, I think he will attack. We saw Niels Feijen really finish off Coping with a bank on the 8 yesterday, and don't think one of these players won't get on this pink here in a minute and take on a cross corner.
A rack is a rack. You want to win them all, but winning racks like this, there's an extra degree of satisfaction because you have to really work for it.
Yeah, that's not going to get it. If you notice, he overcut the 2 a little to the pocket. Not quite as much dig on the cue ball, and I think he goes 2 rails here, trying to come across it. Get a little separation.
The nuisance 6-ball strikes again.
He's got an angle to kind of come at the 4-9 with high right cue ball. It's a little dangerous because, you know, if the speed's off, you can kind of put yourself in a funny situation. I think he's supposed to go here. Try and produce.
The extension, please.
It's not the easiest, Phil, to get on that cross corner bank, to really just kind of the path of the cue ball. If he had a natural to come 1 rail maybe between the 5 and 6 with the cue ball, that wouldn't be bad. I'm trying to go on open, though. He's hit this beautifully. But this is the trouble sometimes when you have to gamble. Now, does he kick and just lay on top of the pink here, knowing that return safety will probably be there for Fedor, but at least you can survive another shot? That's smart. Come 1 rail across, simply trying to use the brown and the 9. Wants to avoid, I believe it's the purple 5 out in the center of the table.
When the 4 went next to the 9 early in the rack, he just knew it would be the pivotal ball.
And he cut off the side rail. He's got the left side rail, but the 8's kind of covering up the pink a bit. got to keep accuracy here and go at this fairly light. Any kind of light hit on the pink, he's elevating, so he's putting some steam on it. It ain't so bad, especially if the cue ball spins to the rail. Going to make Gors earn it. You know, for your recreation pool player, they'd say, how could a pro miss this ball right here, right? Even though there is some distance, but it's all about having to work the cue ball. That's what really makes them missable.
Good call, Jeremy. I think Gorst has been a little fortunate there.
Yeah, very fortunate. And I'll tell you, another thing that tells me him not leveling out there and going through the ball, which he is so good at. Instead, he wanted to elevate the cue and shooting off the rail. That tells me maybe the nerves are a bit more there than we think. This has got knocked. He's going to push through, banking the 4 back down, trying to use the green 6. Not going to get the snooker, I don't think. Containing shot.
The extension, please.
Now the scorers try to kind of return the favor, banking the 4 back down and going into the 8 with the cue ball. Has other options. Everything's kind of difficult. I kind of like cutting the 4 into the 8 and running the cue ball a couple cushions up table. For the bank.
Deposit, and it could be very valuable. What a priceless ability that is.
Yeah, and it makes me regret my words a moment ago, because most people that would go for the bank would put a lot more speed. He kept his accuracy and kind of smoothed it in, really. Still a lot of work here. Falling near the rail, not a ton of angle. You will see the back end of the cue go up in the air a bit.
Is the will of Gorst being imposed. Lengthiest rack of the match. Psychologically a big one.
Got a couple options. Top left English is the normal one, but he can cue downward if he wants to just stun one rail. Looks like it's the run through with a little left spin.
Lap 5 was won essentially by a jump. Rack 6 essentially has been won by a wonderful length of table bank. Fedor Gorst, 4 in a row. He leads 4-2. jumping, banking, potting, leading. That's the story so far for Fedor Gorst. 4-2 up on Niels Feijen in this, the first semi-final of the US Open at the Harrah's Resort in Atlantic City. It's a race to 11, no need for Feijen to panic, but you don't want to allow Gorst to dictate terms and dictate the match.
Yeah, really, I mean, that one missed 3-ball, that's really about it. I mean, he's played some beautiful safeties. Gorst got away with a couple misses, not really leaving anything offensive. So Niels is all right, just needs some opportunity.
Leading by 4-2.
This is the problem. This Gorst is, you know, he can wipe away the mistakes quickly, mentally. Oh, looky here. Combination he'll definitely shoot at. Just kind of ignore the 9 and play the 2 like the 9's not there.
Forever now in the lexicon of the game, the Barry Hearn combination. 2-9.
I'm surprised he's elevating, really. I thought he would just level out. Put some speed on it, of course. You don't want to baby it, but I think the accuracy is much better, the level Q. Trying to play safe behind the 3 as well.
Well, rack 6 was the lengthiest of the match. Rack 7 is the shortest. Both have gone in the same direction. To Fedor Gorst, the world champion, now 5-2 up. And when you have a break like this, Jeremy, and you realise at the end of it, you're looking at a 2-9 combination, it must be a great feeling.
Yeah, and really, like, look at the cue ball. He's playing the cue ball safe behind the 3 as well. So really good stuff from Gorst, even after a few little missed balls. He's getting on with it and building another lead.
Yes, ever since he lost to Vitaly Pachura in winners' qualification, he's made quick starts in all of his next 6 matches. There have been minor wobbles towards the winning line.
It's the 8th break. Fedor goes to break, leading 5-2.
But so often he's been so far in front, he's been able to cope.
Well, game 3, that missed 3-ball from Niels. He was up 2-0, now 5 on the spin, looking for more. Tell you, he's got another shot, making 2 on the break. Just inches away from the red 3. Looks to be fairly straight, so you may have to kind of draw the cue ball here back to the cushion to get back on the pink. Now he's got an angle, so go to the top rail. I think the path to come 2 cushions between the 6 and 8 is there. Speed control should not be a problem with a very open upper right part of the table trying to get on the purple. I said yesterday he missed a similar thin cut to kind of close the door in his quarterfinal match, but should be okay.
And we've actually seen this shot overcut by several people on this table as the week has progressed.
Yeah, we always talk about in the Mosconi, you know, your shot line changes on the slick table just because the balls and everything's so clean, the contact. no real grip there, so have to aim a little thicker. And he's going safe here, I believe. It's a little light. That's very surprising. Not only missing the safety, that doesn't shock me as much as not attacking, really, Phil.
It was a feature of his match against Jeffrey Rodder. No quarter given. But that wasn't the best of safeties, as Jeremy said.
No, he missed the speed on the pink, but really wanted to plant him on the back of the green 6. And, you know, this isn't offensive, but this is an opening. And I think a very unexpected one by Fedor Gorst. Drag on the cue ball. You know how hard that is to judge, using the top spin to kind of make the cue ball kind of slow down. Look at this jump he's eyeing. Wow.
Well, if he clips this in, it is such a minuscule margin of error. It was a valiant effort, and at least he's got some distance, but the 4 will pass.
If it does pass, it is tight, and it's not the type of shot you want to put speed on. I don't think you're going to see Niels pull the trigger here. I think it's going to be some type of safety. He's close to it, doesn't have to work the cue ball. Yeah, I think he plays it, but you can tell purple's backup table, so he's got to get into this.
I'll tell you what, he cued that well, even though the 4 remains on the table.
Yeah, I don't think he's too upset with how he hit the ball, and maybe had a backdoor safety in mind with the black 8 there. But if he just gets to hit that just a pinch lighter, I think the pocket accepts it.
Power stroke, no contact, bottom net.
Missed the 4 by a fraction, and now this is the chance that
And
Feijen's been waiting for, to arrest that 5-rack slide.
Yeah, and I go back to really a surprising safety play by Fedor Gorst. It's pretty close to that pink 4 not to take it on and really kind of keep Niels in the chair. This is ideal here. He'll come 2 cushions directly at the green 6.
Can we reset the shot clock, please? Thank you.
Noise in the arena, backing away. Marcel Lecomte, the referee, quite rightly getting the shot clock reset. Gorst's decision to be conservative. Backfired. He played safe, it wasn't good enough. And indirectly, in the end, it is Feijen who gets another rack on the board. Gorst's lead is now only 5-3. It's all very well, Jeremy, to be sensible, but sometimes you can be a little too cautious for your own good.
Yeah, and the funny thing was he really sized up cutting at it. And of course, the shot clock winding down, a last-second decision. That's probably why he missed the safety, didn't get to put his mind on it for too long. But I was thoroughly shocked. You know, I mean, what gets these guys to this position is their aggressive nature. Especially the way the match has gone so far. If you look at it, there's been some safeties, but it seems like both players are breaking the balls really well. So I kind of feel like 4 or 5 racks could be run here in this set by either player.
We've talked about Feijen's vast experience. World 9-ball champion 2014, world straight pool champion in 2008. And he might well have won the world 8-ball back in 2010, had it not been for a fellow, a dastardly Englishman called Carl Boys.
Yeah, I think that was right in the UAE, wasn't it? In Harrah, I believe, maybe, the championship that Carl won.
And Carl will be behind the microphone together with the freezer, Scott Frost, for our second semi-final a little later on in this session.
Thank you, 9th rank. Niels Feijen the break, trailing 5-3.
He put a little more into it there. I think he caught it a hair thick. One hitting high of the side pocket. Some safety options here. How aggressive does he want to go? See the 4 and the green 6 kind of grouped together. That's a good place to put the cue ball coming off the right side of the 1. Just definitely got the snooker, but not a full ball snooker. So even though just inches away from the pink 4, just a little bit to go over. Try to carry the cue ball towards the 7. You got to feel he's going back behind the pink 4 and the green 6 again with the cue ball. It's somewhat natural from distance.
The extension, please.
Could cut the 1 off the left side and run the cue ball back down on the bottom end of the table. Maybe playing the 1 behind the pink and the green. Options here as well. The right or left side has playable safeties. It's a little speedy. One's got to go. This one's going to hurt a bit.
Yes, the worst tactical effort he's had.
It's almost the same thing as that overcut. When you let up a little, he caught the one a little thin. Therefore, the cue ball tracked a bit more than he wanted. Go forward to minimize the angle on the 2, but now he's got to get across for the red 3. This is tricky. Wants to stun it. That's his preference, but has an option to go forward also and take a little more distance.
This could be the crunch shot of the rack, even though it's early. Crunch shot, crunched it in. But the fact remains, more work to be done.
Yeah, and it seems like when we start to get near the end of these tournaments, the balls start to lay a little more difficult, little tricky things here and there. But we see the absolute best doing it, and that's what we all want. Got to get into this now. Can't just slide over easily. Yeah, you had to try and draw past the purple. Is he going to get there? Just enough.
An anxious few
Just make
seconds,
sure
no
those
doubt.
phones are at least on silent, please.
As another mobile phone goes off, Marcel Eckhart will not like that.
He's earning his dollars today. Okay, again, he's going to screw back a little bit, but still work. He's got a lot of angle. So not in total command of the cue ball. Of course, you have to sacrifice when the layouts are difficult, but you can see little mannerisms. He's not totally happy at the moment.
I tell you what, in the middle of this table, he's playing with fire, isn't he?
Yeah, and you know, I was a little shocked he went into it that much, coming 2 cushions, but again, those delicate ones are the ones they like to stay away from. Probably goes through 2 rails here, trying to get heavy on the brown, even if he's a little far away.
I think the worst is over, but in the US Open, under this pressure, any ball can be missed.
Well, and I think as much as anything, these extra looks are just trying to find that pace around the table to settle them. It's like just a little run through for the 9 in the left middle.
For the second time, Gorst doubling up on fire. And it was 4-2. Now it's 6-3. More than halfway to a place in the final. It is finals day at the US Open. And of course, what happens today will have a massive effect on all of the team tournaments we've got coming up. As for the Reyes Cup, well, 3 players in place for Asia already. Singapore's Aloysius Shap, the Filipino Johan Chua, and Ko Pin Yi, the latest player to confirm his participation. Europe, powerful. Eklund Kachi, Joshua Filler, usual suspects. Not so Mickey Kraus, but of course the Dane coming off that victory in the European Open.
was going to say the break has been very kind so far for Fedor Gorst with opportunities. He's got a little bit of the blue here. Great break off, making 2 balls again, but I think anything offensive. Did make 3 balls actually with the pink 4 on the side as well. I don't think I ever seem to say it enough, but makes these players so great is, again, all these shots you cannot practice, so you gotta kind of visualize the shot and feel it. He's going to bang the 2 away a couple rails. I think he's going to try and slide 2 cushions behind the green 6, which is out in space. Yeah, that's what he tried. Did get the 2 to the top cushion. No, that's not enough.
An ineffective safety on the 1 cost Feijen in rack 9. Will Gorst's ineffective safety on the 2 cost him rack 10? Every chance.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's not too thin to ease it in. That would be ideal. Not as realistic, though. You're in the semifinal of the U.S. Open. He wants to put the little speed, but a lot of obstacles with the 5, 6, and 8 to try and track the cue ball for the red 3. Got to gamble. This is going to be just fine, I think. Another one, he has to work the cue ball. You'll notice the purple 5 is next. It does not pass the black 8 in the lower right. So he's got to get into the rock again, whether it's a draw stroke, some type of follow. I think it'll be the draw. Won the first 2 games, lost 5 in a row, got 1 back. He's making it gritty out here. Oh, just a couple balls down, but a thin one in the side. Got to track the cue ball, 3 cushions. He's looking to draw it. Oh, he did run it.
The second time there's been a bang with Feijen at the table. It happened in the previous rack and he got up. That time just stayed down there. It was a shot of total simplicity.
That's fine with 2.
You expect Niels Feijen to be stubborn. He actually said, didn't he, in his pre-match quotes that one of his great assets was being resilient, and he's showing that here. Gorst leads only 6-4. Now, we've seen the Reyes Cup and how it all pans out in terms of the automatic qualifiers. But of course, coming up at the end of November, it is the ultimate team event. USA against Europe, the Mosconi Cup. So, USA, Fedor Gorst and Shane van Woning qualified. Skylar Woodward will be there as well as the playing captain, so that's 3 places taken already. Same thing for Europe. Eklund Kachi and Joshua Filler in the team, with Jason Shaw, the playing captain, sure to be in Orlando, Florida. Tyler Steyer is looking good, but no guarantees. Same thing for Mickey Kraus.
The 11th rack. It's fine the break. Trailing 6-4.
Okay, he's got the one down. I think it was a dry break on his last. Only one of the match. You notice something though. He changed sides. No, he didn't. Excuse me. Yeah, he did. He actually went to Gors' side, I believe. But play the bank here. It's not the easiest position shot, so you got to believe it's going to be a safety. Kind of chopping the two to where it falls to the bottom cushion as the cue ball goes up table. All these safeties are delicate at this level. If you let them see it, you know, with all the traffic on the bottom, you probably get a return snooker from your opponent. So just kind of dragging the cue ball up behind the purple. And this is what I was talking about. He's not going to be happy. The two did rest near the rail, but quite a few balls to try and get a snooker in return. This one's a little odd only because the two is near that cushion. But playing something soft with spin can be very difficult. Going into the brown maybe here to hold the cue ball. Very heavy pace. What he's sizing up now is trying to attack really.
The extension, please.
You know, does he have a lot of room for the cue ball to where if he does miss the two cross corner, if he does attack, does he have any protection on a miss? And he's going with a high ball, so it's going to be another safety. This one much better, it looks like.
Such a tough competitor. Lightly raced this year.
Extension call.
Well known ball tour wise. Best, I think, semi-final in the Marina Open in Italy, but that tournament nowhere near this scale. Got to the last 16 of the Jacoby Scottish Open, last 32 of the European Open. But this is the big league.
Yeah, pretty natural two-rail escape. There's some traffic, but the path is there coming on the backside. Sometimes you don't get a cushion after contact. The two may go into the black 8. Solid hit. Gonna surrender a shot though, or I think anyways. Lower left corner, it doesn't go by the 8 in the lower right. I think Gorst will take that. Didn't use that experience there. I think the beeps did get him. He let the shot clock expire a little too much before getting down on the ball.
Yes, big misjudgment, wasn't it? Much bigger than you would anticipate at this level.
I thought Gors would attack here cross-sided with the bank.
The crowd applaud, but Gorst not enamoured with that little flick at the end.
Yeah, he had to kind of gamble with the cue ball, really putting the onus on the two cross side. This is a very missable ball. dead center. He's got the nice angle, I think, to be able to go forward also. You can notice, though, the 6-7 is going to be a problem.
The 3 wasn't spectacular, but the way things have gone in the last 20 minutes or so, I think it was a really important shot for Gorst to knock in, and a really important dish to try and complete.
He's a tall man. He can reach this. Going for a little more extension on the cue, but a little tricky position play. Kind of like just coming down the left side of the table, but the high ball, maybe a little inside English. But if you get into this a little bit, it doesn't grab the spin. Could end up on top of the green 6 a bit. Got to smooth it down there, Phil. This is what I was talking about. Is the speed just perfect?
Almost perfect. Good enough.
Should come up one rail above the 7. Wants to be able to reach the cue ball easily there on the brown. Play this in the right middle. They wanted to get a little straighter. Follow to the end rail or kind of draw stun over.
This has been timely. Gors, typically cool, calm and collected, keeping Niels Feijen at arm's length. It's now 7-4. And sometimes those racks, Jeremy, there's no big shot there, there's no crowd pleaser, but it's just efficient pool when you really need it. Sometimes those racks are the engine room of a victory.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we saw Niels kind of lose that there with the shot clock. He's got to get on with it, you know, and just go with what he sees. You can see pretty good stuff from both players. The long pot at success, you kind of see that percentage down at times because the shots sometimes are kind of two-way, and of course early in the match it's hard to bury them all, but good stuff so far from both players.
Yes, 94% is about what you need. 94, 95, and you're looking good. I think it's quite illuminating that Gorst has made as many safety errors as that. He's also actually missed one more pot than Feijen, but I think he fully deserves his advantage.
Yeah, I would definitely say, though, he's had more opportunity after the break to stay offensive, and you know, just the layouts have laid a little tougher for Niels. But
Fedor goes to break. He's leading the match by 7
I think Niels needs to change sides if he can on the break. I really like the spreads from the right side of the box, much better than the left. Look at these balls. It's almost like they know it's the semifinals. The 3, 4, 5, nasty. Even though I think the 3 does play on the side. I'm not sure if the 6 is open. It's attached to the 9. This is difficult. If the 3 plays, I mean, where do you really push out? I think he's got to push out to a jump. Like push the cue ball a little closer to that 3, 4, 5. Push out and use that tool that he holds pretty much like no other. wouldn't say I'm shocked here, but there's no way Niels can give this back. 7-4.
Your choice, Niels.
Whether that be a safety and run the ball or pocket the ball in the corner at a light speed, I think he's got to take this on. Does take this on, you get a minute after the break, right? You don't want to use that that extension here early, especially with a funny table. Looks like he's banking the 2 back towards the 6-9. I don't know if that's going to get it. This 2's going to have some speed.
The mistake on the 2 in rack 11 cost him. Will that misjudgment be equally expensive?
And it looks like he's looking for the side to maybe open these. I thought the 3 played and he could take the 2 on in the corner. Now he's looking at the safety. Interesting. I guess when it's like that, it's hard to pass.
Yeah, you might say it's an abundance of caution, but this is a real hook.
Really, the path he's looking at is about all he has. Going over the red 3, in between that and the 5. Become 1 cushion. He may need a hair of side to straighten the cue ball.
Extension called.
Shot clock again intruding, forcing Feijen into an early extension.
Can't get much of the left side of the cue ball, but I think it is required.
Road stroke. Ball net.
Congestion
And please start the shot.
starting to dissipate.
Yeah, pretty tricky though. That purple 5 has really disrupted things, getting in the path of that upper corner. Does have a play on the 3, but gotta get really ideal to make things easy getting on the pink, even though it's just pretty much attached to the red 3. Interesting here. Can he avoid rubbing the pink? He can draw back. It should be no problem. Checking to see if the 6 went. Lower left corner. If he pushes this at all, this could get really tricky.
Extension, please.
It's almost in position to roll forward and just rub the pink to the rail where it passes that purple 5. I think it will be the draw stroke.
Justified applause, but even though this is really short range and it looks simple, it can be missed. It would be highly unlikely, but not impossible to catch a jaw here. He's okay.
Yeah, that ball kind of kicked a hair. Wanted more out of the cue ball. Now a very slim angle and not many options on the green 6. You either got to cheat this with draw or go with a high ball with some right spin to open up the cue ball.
Yeah, that skid was visible, wasn't it?
Yeah, you could hear it a bit as well. It's got to go a little. Not only just to get the shot, but being able to hold for the 7. We're going to see a nice one here coming 4 cushions around back to the lower right part of the table. difference here is on the slick table, you can't really do it with a high ball as much. It's more about kind of like center. This cue ball. So way off his mark. That 8 really wasn't in play, and nerves are going, that's for sure.
Thought the 9 there might provide a potting guide, but far from it.
Well, that's all about, again, having to work the cue ball. Wasn't his best on the purple 5. Completely understand what he's thinking there. Let me try and make the pocket a bit bigger, but he had an option to come across in between the 7-9 there, putting a lot more speed on the cue ball. Probably gets a better hit. Safety has been off and on for Fedor Gorst, but a big one here. Gotta go. Gonna leave a gap.
Let me tell you, that is very uncharacteristic from Gorst. Very uncharacteristic. I thought he would be nailed there, Feijen, and I think Feijen was expecting the worst as well.
And he had an option to thin it and go behind the 9-1 cushion, so he was going for more of the high stakes safety, but missed the mark. Oh, what a nice shot to kind of regroup after a big miss. Still not out of the woods, though. Now this one's funny. He's got to put a Harrah left spin. It's all about how you hit the pocket, whether the cue ball may threaten that upper right corner.
Feijen using his trademark stickability.
Niels Feijen.
Nerves, young and old, are jangling right now. It's getting tense and a little bit tighter. 7-5. The story of our first semi-final in this US Open. Niels Feijen, the man in your picture right now, won the first 2 racks. Broken ran in the second. But Fedor Gorst then won 5 in succession. It would have been easy to think, well, the World 9-ball champion, the World Masters champion will pull away. And while Gorst remains in front, it's only 7-5. And I think some of his shot selections, Jeremy, tell us he's feeling it. He's playing it very safe. And when he does play safe occasionally, we're seeing the odd, very atypical misjudgment.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been funny matches for Fedor Gorst all year, it seems. He won the Whirlpool Masters after 7 breaking runs from Josh Filler, and he still didn't get that title. I think things are going to open up for Niels. That's just my gut feeling. There I go with the jinx, but I swear I think he needs to change sides. You just hear the connection from the left side of the box, not near as nice as the side Fedor Gorst is breaking from. What is that? Is that his second dry break of the match? I believe it is.
Pool is the kind of sport where you need to have the balance right, yes. But you also can't protect. You have to try and set the pace, set the agenda. And Gorst at the moment seems to me as though he's trying to protect a lead when he needs to just impose himself.
Yeah, good call, Phil. And I still haven't seen, like you said, pace around the table that seems very comfortable. Some shot clock issues, I think, for both players. And got to be frank, I think this score could be more like a 9-3 deficit, or maybe even 8-4 if Gorst takes advantage a little more. Holding the angle so he can slide over between the 7 and 8. Wants a little angle on the pink, though. The purple is near the pocket. He's going to have to work the cue ball a bit. Now here he can use a little of the side rail. He gains such a natural angle. Doesn't have to put much speed. But can't you kind of tell, though, it's almost like he's talking to himself. Stay down on the ball. You saw that a little more there.
The extension, please.
He said it in many interviews, leaning on those fundamentals when the nerves are high. Flinch here. This pink 4 could come off the cushion pretty easily. It's just gotten perfect here. He can aggressively draw at the brown 7. Little hint of an angle.
Much like rack 11. Efficient from Gorst after the fine dry break. Daylight again. Breathing space. 8-5. 3 in front. Gorst, and he needs 3 more to reach the final and remain on course for history. Jeremy, just to put it into perspective, it's so difficult to win one of the pool majors each year. Just one. He could win all 3. World Masters, US Open, World 9-Ball Championship. Is that weighing on his shoulders, do you think?
Nah, I think he's pretty heated up now. I mean, you know, of course, our interviews and the openings, they talk about those things, and the players are going to get friendly, in a friendly way, reminded of really how great they are and how special the things they're doing. But kind of like FSR, you know, had that run. You know, it seemed like a year and a half run. You know, it builds up. It's got to go away at some time or another. The other players are too great. But I think he's more trying to settle himself for this match with the Terminator. But if I keep looking at the way the openings on the breaks are for Fedor from the right side of this box. Again, really feel like we're going to get a hold of DJ there for a moment. DJ's feeling it.
Thank you. The 14th rank Fedor goes to break, leading 8-5.
But again, you have to look and pay attention to what you're seeing. And it seems this is the side to break from. Oh my. That one, there was no kiss. But again, look at the groupings, the 7-8, the 5-6. Niels has really been up against it as far as opportunity. Oh, there was a little kiss on the 8, but he did catch it a little heavier than he normally does.
In the middle section of this match, it's been one step forward for Gorst, and maybe, in this case, one step back.
I'm not sure about the 7-8, but this is more playable than I think. You know, the purple 5 does play in the upper right corner, and the pink's on this end of the table. So, you know, the wisdom and, of course, the greatness of Niels Feijen should figure this one out. It's going to want to fall somewhat natural on the pink to roll behind the purple. I think that's the plan. That's what he's sizing up right now. Don't mind a little more distance on the pink as long as you gather that angle that's needed. That's how it could go a long ways, I'll tell you, moving forward towards the end of this match. Wouldn't say it's perfect. You may have to add a little left spin to open up the cue ball off the bottom cushion. The good thing is he can evaluate. You know, if he doesn't like the purple, there's always a safety there with many balls near. You know, I mean, I don't think this is ever going to be the play, but he could go into him off the bottom cushion. Makes the 4 a little missable. Well, good for the shot or the safety. We'll see how he's feeling. Looks like he could push through on this and maybe get a kiss off the 6, maybe a double kiss off the 6. Here it comes off the side rail and produce some type of shot. It's going downward, so it's the plant behind the green. Like the 3-rail escape here, unless he has this 2-rail escape, but you want something with speed.
The extension, please.
What I mean by the 3-rail escape that is overlooked quite often, kind of wrapping the cue ball out of the lower right corner where he's standing and coming 3 cushions at the 5. He can cue the ball nicely, get the right side of the cue ball, which is needed. Go 2 cushions. This is a stretch here. Another one's hard to get a whole lot of speed, but he's going to try it.
Second foul. Ball in net.
Heard Marcel mention second foul. That's second consecutive foul and 9-ball pool. One player makes 3 consecutive fouls. That's a loss of game. Very rare at this level, but it does happen.
Where they are, you think it's a moot point.
Yeah, you would figure him to get out, but you never know. He fell funny on the 7 with the 8-9 near. Could be a safety, but would highly doubt it. off angle here, may go forward for the 9 side rather than drawing the cue ball.
And it's fine.
Niels Feijen will not go away. Again, it's only a 2-rack gap. You know, he's not the prominent player he was, Feijen, but look at last year, got to the quarter-final of the World Championship, semi-final of the World Masters. He won the Mosconi Open, Bosnia, and Herzegovina Open as well. Made the last 32 in Hanoi. He has still got the competitive spirit and the ability to be able to convert that spirit into results.
Yeah, absolutely. He stays fit. We can see that. He's a strong-minded player. That's what got him most of those titles, I think, and definitely not lazy, right? Stays busy, always around pool in one facet or another. And, again, I think I'd really like to see him switch sides. Of course, the mentality is, this is where I'm breaking from the entire tournament. That's what's got me here, so it's hard to argue. You just got to kind of look and see what's happening with the break.
May I ask you to took the phone down, you get the torch on top. Thank you. 15 franc. It's fine to break. Trading by 8 racks to 6.
Now can Feijen get some firepower?
He's gotten the 1 down, the 2 spinning up table. 3's covered up. A possible combination on the 9 here in a few shots. Gotta feel nice not to have a dry break, though. Hey, I mean, not the worst shot to attack with. It is thin. I guarantee if it was Johan Schua, he'd be shooting at it. He's looking to bank the 2 back down the middle of the table, trying to use the purple 5 for the snooker. 7 as a helper as well. It's going to be upsetting. He knows this is an opening for Gorst. Probably comes around 3-9 with the cue ball. Trying to plant the 2 ball up the table. This is real natural here in the short with the cue ball. That's the mistake. You can afford a little bump on the 3.
The extension, please.
Maybe he's going a different route. Usually from distance, you want to play something natural, more of a roll of the ball. Got it a little heavy. That's surprising to me. May have gotten fortunate with the green 6, but shocking to end up that short with the cue ball. It's been like that tactically in this match for Fedor Gorst at times.
Throughout the week at the World 9-Ball Championship, you,
Extension, please.
come on boys, myself, we're all saying he finds a way to win, doesn't he, Fedor Gorst? Will he find a way today? At the moment, he's looking a little bit vulnerable for me.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Phil, and it kind of reminds me of some of those matches. You know, he trailed most of those there in Saudi, but I get the feeling it's a real battle from within for Federer right now. No rail.
Foul stroke.
Maybe try to get a little touchy
Rail
with it
contact
there.
ball.
And hard to question the decision of such a great player.
And please start the shot clock.
But not knowing the table as well, that type of two-rail kick is very delicate. Maybe just go with the gods there and put a lot of speed and see what happens.
Yeah, just to clarify, he did make contact with the two, but there was no rail hit in the course of the shot.
Yeah, there has to be contact to the rail or pocket a ball after contact the object ball. And again, struggling. Not saying it was easy, but with ball in hand, you got to believe you would believe that he would hit his mark for an early win on a 3-9. He's got to maybe just bump it and lay him on the 9 here. Could go behind the pink. Kind of felt like the bottom rail was the route, but any hit could go a long ways.
Second foul.
Well, you just hate to see or feel like the shot clock gets to such a great player like Niels or any of these players, and I think it cost him a little accuracy there.
Please start the shot clock.
So for the second time, Gorst gets ball in hand. Will he make more of this? Didn't have the gap past the 8 ball, so made the combo. Would have liked a little more pace in this 3.
Yeah, but again, tells us he's feeling it, right? The 3 did pass the 9 in the upper right corner, not choosing to play that ball past the side.
If you win the World 9-ball, World Masters and US Open in the same year, you're standing on the shoulders of giants. Earl Strickland, he won Masters and US Open in 1 year, but not the trilogy. Same with Ralph Suke.
The last couple of strokes were pretty settled. Clear these last 4 and get 2 games away from another US Open final.
At the risk of repetition, that ball would not have dropped at the UK Open. It might not have dropped at the European Open. That must have set his heart aflutter.
Yeah, I really don't think it would have dropped on the outer table here at the US Open. I was a little shocked to see a high ball as well. You know, I thought he would just kind of draw the cue ball over, almost the same position he ended up, really. This is short as well. I mean, not the kind you want to float, so he's got to check the cue ball coming off 2 cushions back and forth.
Touch deserting Gorst, and that's a symptom of nerves. Understandable nerves, but nerves nevertheless.
Yeah, we'll know immediately. Confident strength there.
Fedor Gorst. 1-2 racks.
Try as he might, Niels Feijen can't quite get within striking distance. Fedor Gorst, 9-6 up. 2 more to make the final. Not vintage from Fedor Gorst, but it might well be victorious. Niels Feijen coming back into the arena, trailing by 9 racks to 6 in this first semi-final of the US Open. He's been close to winning this title in the past without quite getting his hands on the Barry Berman Trophy. As for Fedor Gorst, the final last year, losing out 13-6 to an inspired Koping Chung. Will it be 2 finals in succession?
It's rack 16, Fedor Gorst to break. He's leading by 9 racks to 6.
Gorst would love an appealing layout to be on the hill. But the 9 was centre cut, didn't touch the sides. 10-6, deflating for Feijen, elating for Fedor Gorst. And what a shot we got of that 9 going in.
Yeah, it's been some unfortunate kisses at times, but that one quite the opposite. And it's always that relief when you get to the hill, Phil, and you got a little cushion, and it's been like that for Fedor Gorst. Now can he take it down?
On the snooker tour, the players chat away, don't they, in the players' room, and if someone has been lucky, they say, you've been golden. Golden break. It works in 9-ball. It certainly works for Fedor Gorst, who knows he's a realistic sort of fellow, who knows he's had a good run of the ball this week.
Well, I'll tell you, he's
rank 17, Fedor Gorst
kind of getting known for either playing incredible matches that are well worth watching, or now some crazy kind of stuff during his matches. A little a la Efren Reyes, if you will. Now the 2 dressing up near the corner. We may not get to see Niels Feijen anymore in this 2024 US Open.
If a golden break is the gold medal, then silver is breaking like that and leaving a shot on the ball you need to pot.
Yeah, this first shot will really tell the story. It's a little awkward sometimes, believe it or not, when you're elevated on the slick table. This ball can hook a little. It's not going to be missed. It's all about the position on the red 3. Oh, he's hit it perfect. Did not lay off a bit.
It was such a big occasion for Niels Feijen. Had he captured this title, he would have been in contention for a return to the Mosconi Cup team. He wanted that US Open. The hole in the Dutchman's CV. He could still win it, but frankly, where the balls are, he will need divine intervention.
Yeah, come 2 rails aggressive here. He's going with a high ball, 1 rail. So trying to get heavy on this to screw the cue ball back for the green 6. Does he have a stun angle? Kind of by the 7? Thought it would be more of a draw stroke. Hard to tell with Fedor sometimes because he'll center the tip and then drop it at the end. Could have got more out of that. See a little grimace.
Hard to imagine he will miss the 6, but
The extension, please.
at this stage, on the brink of victory, on the threshold of success, anything can be missed.
Yeah, and this is one I always label, just kind of use your talent, knocking this ball in, real natural, one rail down with speed control. Lays pretty perfect, besides a little more distance than we expected. Well, that shows you he didn't want to roll the ball, and you can't blame him. Using an extra couple of rails there with the cue ball. I think he's fairly natural to get by the 9. I think anyways, maybe not. Okay, just a little collision on the bottom of the 9 here. He's dressing it up near the side. He can cue the ball nicely, kind of a ball in hand angle. So Fedor Gorst will get back to this U.S. Open final. Phil, hats off to the Terminator. What another great tournament. It kind of makes you feel like he'll be back.
In the end, the conclusion came swiftly. Fedor Gorst apologizing for his luck, but then, after shaking hands with the vanquished, he celebrates. He's through by 11 racks to 6. And now you know, if Shane Van Boening can defeat Joshua Filler in the second semi-final, we'll have the first All-American conclusion to the US Open since Johnny Archer beat Jeremy Jones in 1999.
Thanks for that, Phil. I didn't know that stat, but yeah. Still feel like my buddy Johnny got a little lucky on me, but you know, Fedor Gorst, he had a few of the rolls there, but he still capitalized when it meant the most.
Yeah, I thought it was legitimate to say, and we did say that he was looking a little susceptible at some points, but when the chips were down, that phrase again, he finds a way.
Well, that's, you know, the beauty of watching that guy play. You'll never know. It's usually greatness, but some of the unexpected as well. Here's some of our match stats. You know, the alarming one maybe going forward for Gorst was the safety errors. Those are the ones that are going to play big in the finals. But overall, good stuff by both players.
And the pot success rate, you cannot quibble with that. 95%. So next up, it will be Filler against Shane Van Boening after the break. Something to savor.